over 400 million people could be at risk of rising sea levels by the year 2100. The impact of climate change on rising sea levels has prompted the UN to issue its gravest warning yet.
We would witness a mass exodus of entire populations on a biblical scale.
The United Nations has had climate change front and center of its work for several years now. It's warning that hundreds of millions of people might be forced to flee their homes, and this has much greater global implications.
Rising seas threaten lives and jeopardize access to water, food and health care. Saltwater intrusion can decimate jobs and entire economies in key industries like agriculture, fisheries and tourism. It can damage or destroy vital infrastructure, including transportation systems, hospitals and schools.
According to climate change experts, cities on almost every continent will be affected. From Egypt, where nearly 95% of the population lives along the Nile River. In the Netherlands, about half the residents already live below sea level. And islands in the Pacific, especially Tonga, where water levels are rising at almost twice the global average rate. The threat affects China's Shanghai too.
A nation can be at war and its people still have hope and determination to survive. The war against climate change is quite different. The opponent is much larger, amorphous, and the ability to stop it is outside of your direct control. And whilst you can do your best to adapt with the limited resources you have, you continue to suffer loss and damage and fear for the future of your children.
Now UN member states are finalizing an international legally binding treaty to protect more of the world's high seas. Nearly 2/3 of oceans fall outside of any country's jurisdiction and also need protection. As part of the negotiations that started in 2017, delegates are pushing that developing and small island nations have the resources, expertise and skills to fight climate change that's already wreaked havoc. Member states will be locked in treaty negotiations here at UN headquarters over the next 3 days. Fittingly located along the East River, Manhattan itself is in danger of rising sea levels and the possibility of being submerged. Jody, CGTN, New York.